A Course in Miracles, Review 3, Introduction, Paragraph 3. But learning will be hampered when you skip a practice period because you are unwilling to devote the time to it that you are asked to give. This isn't a mild suggestion. It's a surgical insight. Learning isn't blocked by lack of ability. It's blocked by refusal to give what was asked. Not because the divine is petty or demanding, but because devotion is the doorway to remembrance. When the door isn't walked through, the experience is delayed, not lost, not punished, but delayed by a quiet no masquerading as something else. Do not deceive yourself in this. Here, the tone sharpens. This is not accusation, but awakening. The mind is being invited to drop the costume. The line slices through the spiritual performance, the busy excuses, the polished rationalizations, and goes straight to the inner decision. The refusal, the part that chose to walk away and then tried to pretend it didn't. Unwillingness can be most carefully concealed behind a cloak of situations you cannot control. This is where the ego becomes masterful. The cloak isn't wild or rebellious. It's mature, it's calm, it's practical, it's busy. It wears the face of crisis, obligation, fatigue, distraction. But under the surface, something deeper is being avoided. Not the Course itself, but what the Course reveals. Silence, surrender, stillness, union. The ego fears these, so it builds a cloak out of circumstances and says, "See, there was nothing that could be done." Learn to distinguish situations that are poorly suited to your practicing from those that you establish to uphold a camouflage for your unwillingness. This is discernment in its highest form. Not all situations are equal. Some truly are unsuitable, but they are rare. Most of the time, the situation was designed, consciously or not, to uphold resistance. The cluttered schedule, the last-minute commitment, the endless scrolling, these were not accidents. They were camouflage. And this sentence does not condemn them. It reveals them. It gently pulls back the veil and says, "Look again. Who arranged this day? What fear was hiding behind it?" I had a crazy day at work. On the surface, it's valid. But the day didn't just happen. The schedule was filled. The boundaries were bent. The urgency was agreed to. And when the moment for quiet came, it was buried beneath the momentum of doing. The refusal wasn't loud. It was dressed in productivity. But the Course shines a light beneath the day's events and asks, was this day built to remember God or to forget? I was too tired. Exhaustion is real, but not always innocent. Sometimes tiredness is the body echoing a day spent fleeing stillness, running from self-inquiry, performing roles, meeting expectations. And then, at the end, the ego points to the body and says, "See? You can't practice now." But the Course whispers, "That tiredness may be camouflage. Look deeper." I had to care for others. Love never blocks. But the performance of love can. When care becomes martyrdom, when presence is replaced with obligation, practice is postponed. This isn't about abandoning others. It's about remembering the self that can truly love. And sometimes, the most loving act is to pause, to breathe, to return to truth, and then bring it back to the room. I'll do it later. Later is the ego's favorite decoy. It sounds polite, reasonable, open-ended, but it's a spiritual postponement wrapped in false goodwill. The Course doesn't say, never practice. It says, practice now, because now is the only place healing lives. Later is where the ego sends devotion to die. My environment isn't peaceful enough. Noise, distraction, chaos. But peace was never about conditions. It was always about willingness. The ego insists on candles and silence. The Holy Spirit shows up in traffic, in clutter, in crisis. This excuse is performance again. An aesthetic idea of spirituality. But real remembrance needs no stage. It needs only the open heart. This paragraph isn't about punishment. It's about presence. It's not shaming, it's shining. Shining a light on the ways resistance dresses itself up as responsibility. On the costumes, unwillingness wears to look holy, busy, caring, or tired. It is not asking for guilt. It is asking for truth, to stop pretending, to stop performing, to stop postponing what was always waiting, because beneath every distraction, beneath every "I can't," beneath every "not now," is a trembling fear of going home and a light that's ready to rise.